Hello everybody, my name is Iruletho, and I'm bringing you a StarCraft 2 game between Ikotsu as the red Zerg in the bottom left corner of Xel'Naga Caverns, and SeaWolf, the blue Protoss in the top right corner. Now this game I've heard has been really epic, and I was actually on Skype with Ikotsu when he played this game, and he raged, and raged, and raged about this game. And I'm not going to give away the ending, because that would be mean of me, but it sounded like it was bad. I mean, it was just, I don't know. He sounded really upset by the whole thing, and I think it'll make for a really interesting replay. And we see SeaWolf going for a really fast forge and a cannon at his Nexus. Now this you usually don't see out of Protoss. This is a really strange build. Usually if you do a forge versus a, there's the extractor grab by Ikotsu. Nice job stealing the gas, because the cannon's out of range. It's not going to have anything to stop you. But you canceled and lost the drone. Good job. Anyway, normally if you see a fast forge from a Protoss player, he'll be expanding right away behind it. But instead, SeaWolf seems content to build probes and cannons, which doesn't make much sense. He's now grabbing the gas. There's his gateway finally going down. Ikotsu, meanwhile, has a spawning pool up. He's getting a fast hatchery, because I guess he saw the extremely defensive play by SeaWolf. He's got probes waiting to go into the assimilator when it finishes. He's getting a lot of gas. There we go, Ikotsu making some friendly banter with SeaWolf, expecting cheese. He went forge first. SeaWolf, what do you mean? Ikotsu playing it super economical. There's the cybernetics core going down from SeaWolf, right in the middle of his base. Such a strange build order by SeaWolf. Now we finally see a pylon. Metabolic boost coming out. And this is just a very strange game already. There's the drone transfer for the expansion. So, Ikotsu looking to be on really good footing right away. We have 2 Stargates going down now for SeaWolf. Wow, Ikotsu thinks SeaWolf was expecting the cheese, but in turn, it is he who is getting cheesed. I don't know this. Well, yeah. I can't not call this cheese. Forge first into defensive cannons into Stargates. This is cheese at its finest, my friends. Building the cannons immediately outside of his expansion. Roasted that Ling in seconds. He got absolutely no information from that, other than there's cannons in a Nexus here. So I guess he got all the information he really needed. Ikotsu's doing a good job keeping map control. He's got a Ling down here at this third. He's got Lings holding the watchtowers. He's got Overlord spread out around his base, expecting something. He has no idea what. It'd be impossible to scout. Now he's got Void Rays. And this brings up a very nice Rebecca Black parody. I cannot talk today. Xel'Naga Caverns, StarCraft 2, and Void Rays. Rebecca Black, Void Rays. Gotta give it up for that song. Ikotsu taking a very swift third at the 9-minute mark. I know he's got to be expecting something by now. That was a huge increase in the drone numbers. Although somehow SeaWolf has managed to stay on par. He's got 34 harvesters to Ikotsu's 38. Mineral income is huge for Ikotsu, but the gas is kind of lacking. He's got Lings taking down the rocks to his third. I think Ikotsu is going to be in a great position economically, but these Void Rays, if left unscouted, are going to be able to deal so much damage. He's already got 5 against just the 3 queens, and here they come. This could be devastating right now. Oh, are the drones going to see it? Yeah, they're going to see it in a second. SeaWolf opting to go for some Overlords, sniping a lot of Overlords. There's Ikotsu's supply block. The third is going to go down so quickly. Void Ray's already charged, everything forced to run, and there goes the third. Puts Ikotsu back. And Lings, despite all the hype, ladies and gentlemen, Lings do not do that well against Void Rays. Going in for a great counter, but there are a lot of cannons here. I mean, Ikotsu should be targeting down these pylons. If he kills those 2 pylons, all those cannons would do nothing. Instead, he opts to lose a lot of Zerglings. The Void Ray count getting a little bit ridiculous now. It's only the 12-minute, 30-second mark, and he's already got 6, 7 Void Rays out. Ikotsu, meanwhile, doing really good with the creep spread. He's got Corruptors out, but 3 Corruptors are not going to be able to deal with these Void Rays sufficiently. I just don't see SeaWolf going from a very strange opening into amazing cheese. He's replacing the cannons at his natural. Ikotsu seems to be afraid to move out again for fear of the Void Ray harass. And I feel like if he just massed a lot of Lings and focused on the pylons, he'd be able to take down this natural. Obviously, he wouldn't get up into the main with such ease, but here come the Void Rays now, moving back out. It looks like SeaWolf, after that initial attack, is extremely worried about counters. Ikotsu, meanwhile, has a great view of the map. He's going to know when the Void Rays start coming at him. I mean, there's really no way to get around except for right here. But the Void Ray is choosing to stay passive. And I think that's the wrong move to make. If you're up so far against a Protoss player, or if you're up so far as a Protoss player against the Zerg, you need to be pressing every advantage you have. And right now, these Void Rays are your only advantage. You have 11 of them on the field. And instead, you're going to Photon Cannon to kill the rocks. This move makes no sense to me. He's cannoned up his gold expansion, but hasn't killed the rocks there. I think this is a preemptive move to keep the Zerg from moving up this angle. He can, of course, still run by this way. Now the toss. I think he forgot that he needed to destroy the rocks to expand there. Because here's a probe transfer. With no expansion, there we go. Finally, the Void Ray's working on the rocks. Got a bunch of Queens, a bunch of Corruptors, and a bunch of Banelings warping in. Now that's going to be interesting. Look at the cannons! Holy overabundance, Batman. This is ridiculous with the amount of cannons. Corruptors moving in. Void Rays are going to be able to deal so much damage. The Banelings have nothing to target. Corruptors dealing a lot of damage to Void Rays. It's down to 8, whereas the Corruptor count is still sitting on a very nice 13. The cannons, though, they're destroying some Void Rays. Queen's there. Queen's not there anymore. Corruptors kill off all the Void Rays, and he's got none left. He's got 2 sitting back here over in his base, but the Corruptors... here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 4 Broodlords morphing in up here. Meanwhile, the Nexus is finished. He's rebuilding the cannon. Still got 2 Banelings sitting out here doing nothing. Greater Spire has finished back here. A whole lot more Lings morphing out right now. There go the Broodlords, finally starting to work on this base up here. Lings coming in from behind. I think his goal here is to outrange the cannons. But here come the Void Rays. He doesn't have enough Corruptors up here to finish this off. Oh, there we go. There's the Corruptors moving in, getting forced back by the cannons. He needs to just keep his whole army together. There's the Corruptors getting focused down by the Void Rays. Void Rays killing off these Corruptors so quickly, and those Broodlords are going to just get demolished by the Void Rays. Holy monkeys. Corruptor goes down to nothing. The Lings now having no fight but to run into all these cannons. Too many pylons, too many cannons. The Lings go down like somebody's old socks. This gold base being mined by a whopping 2 probes. The creep is there. It sees all, knows all, and tells all to the Zerg player. Creep expansion is really good, but Ikotsu, you really should be expanding, getting some more macro, focusing on your larva, getting a massive force of Corruptors and Broodlords, and just pushing to win this. SeaWolf is sitting back on his 3 bases now. You know what? I can't even call this a base. He's sitting back on his base now. There's almost no mining going on for SeaWolf. Both players have now decided they wanted to sit back and macro up. And for Ikotsu, that's a losing prospect. He's got so many drones sitting there doing nothing because of lack of expansions. I mean, your income could be so much greater. You've got 37 harvesters, but you're not using but... what is this, 12 of them? Here come more lanes running in. Corruptor's just kind of running around doing nothing. They're just going to sit over the cannons, and he's going to lose a bunch. That pylon was so close to being dead. If he could just deal 2 damage to that pylon, it would have been over. He's got enough lanes, he could go in and do it, and then that base would be defenseless. Except for Void Rays that die to Corruptors. So Ikotsu playing a little bit too passively. There goes the pylon. Corruptors are going to do marvelous work against these Void Rays. The Lings destroying the cannons bit by bit. You should focus down these probes and pylons, though. There he goes, killing off that pylon. Needs to kill off probes. Kill the probes. Get the probes. And the probes looking like they're actually going to beat the Zerglings there for a second, but no. That cannon finishes, or the pylon finishes, the cannons are repowered, and there goes the Zerglings. Carriers have arrived. We have 3 carriers now, each one at 8 interceptors moving across the field. And Corruptors are devastating against carriers. SeaWolf is extremely dedicated to this air build, although he hasn't researched a single upgrade. He's only got 2 Stargates pumping out the carriers. Realistically, there's nothing he should be able to do to this. These Corruptors over here should destroy these carriers without a problem. Here's SeaWolf trying to warp in a proxy down here to expand to this lower base. Carriers moving across the map. He's got this gold fairly well mined now. It's not completely saturated, but it's good enough. He's already mined out this assimilator. That's how early he took those gas. Ikotsu finally taking his third. I feel like if Ikotsu just did a lot of Broodlord Corruptor, this game would be over already. But now he's got a lot of carriers. He's got 6 carriers maintaining on this base. And the carriers are just going to come in and destroy these Broodlords, man. No contest. The Corruptors using their corruption ability, but they're not focus fire. And one carrier is about to go down. Is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it. No, all the Corruptors get taken down, and now there's nothing to stop this massive air force from SeaWolf. Hydralisks. Hydralisk, my friend. Hydralisk. And now, Ikotsu sitting back. He's on the back foot. He's got a 40 supply deficit to SeaWolf. But SeaWolf is not pressing the advantage. I feel like this is a lot like the last game I casted, where both players had an advantage over one another and they didn't press it at the right times. Before those carriers came out, Ikotsu could have went in and taken the game easily. And now that the carriers are out, SeaWolf could do the same thing. Ikotsu has nothing on the field that could win. He's got 23 Overlords. So easily sniped. He's only got 10 Corruptors and 5 Queens. Against 10 carriers, that is a losing prospect if I've ever seen one. But instead he's content to sit back, long distance mine. He's got a 40 supply lead. He's just not pressing the advantage like he should be. We're already at the 31-minute mark for this game. And I have a feeling that this game has only just begun. More Corruptors coming in. I think he's going to go for the all-Corruptor army. Which, while great against carriers, you need to micro a little bit to get rid of them. He's got 13 carriers to 20 Corruptors. In a straight food, I don't see that working. The army tab, the Zerg has 96 supply army to the SeaWolf's 134, so maintaining that 40 supply lead. Neither player are able to max out right now. Ikotsu's finally mining off his own gold base. The carriers are just such a devastating prospect. He's taking another hatchery up here on the top left. SeaWolf, meanwhile, is relegated down to his 2 bases that are realistically mining. I can't count this one anymore. It's dry. The gold base over here is starting to run low. A little bit. He's got another, I would say, 5 minutes of mining on it, and it'll finally be gone. Neither player is really being aggressive. He's got an observer right here, but what does he really see? Nothing other than the fact that the gold base has been taken. Ikotsu, meanwhile, knows that this gold base has been taken again. And we have a pylon. SeaWolf building a pylon at Ikotsu's base. And here comes the fleet. And that hatchery is dead. No contest whatsoever. These interceptors dealing so much damage. You gotta think, these interceptors deal 5 damage an attack, times 2 attacks for 10 damage per interceptor, times 8 interceptors per carrier, for a total of 136 interceptors at 10 damage apiece every attack. So the first wave of these carriers hitting something deals 1,360 damage. That is more than enough to one-shot any single unit in the game. That is more than enough to one-shot any base in the game, and I'm talking all the tech structures included. 1,300 damage, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot of damage for one army. And now he's just got his carriers on patrol. Quick kills those Broodlords. The Corruptor's moving in, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He sniped a couple of carriers off. He's down to 13. That was a good 4-carrier kill. And he's going with 2 Broodlords at a time, which I think is a great idea, given that SeaWolf has 0 ground forces. He is all air, with 4 Void Rays and 13 carriers. Ikotsu's taking this left-hand base again. Void Rays moving in now, clearing out the drones. That is a great idea by SeaWolf. But here come the Corruptors, man. He's going to lose absolutely everything. The Void Rays stand absolutely no chance against this many Corruptors. That is 35 Corruptors. Carriers poked out, killed the 2 Broodlords that were just left to dry. Running right through the cannons, taking 3 damage for nothing. And here comes the engagement, right over more cannons. Snipes a carrier. That was a great kill by Ikotsu. 153 food to 133 now by SeaWolf. So Ikotsu is now in the food advantage. But all he has is Lings and Corruptors. And I feel if he went Roach Corruptor, he'd be able to take out bases. He'd be able to take out the bases with his Roaches and take out the enemy unit, the enemy Air Force with his Corruptors. Or even if you went Muta Corruptor. Or not Muta Corruptor, but Ultra Corruptor. He's already got the Hive Tech, obviously. He's got Broodlords sitting in wait. Here come the carriers now. They're going to try to snipe off this Broodlord. Look at how fast that Broodlord died, man. Still no upgrades on the... Oh, there we go. Now the Interceptors have some upgrades. They're dealing 12 damage per Interceptor now. The Corruptor's moving and engaging above the cannons. I don't know if I agree with this, but look how fast those carriers are dropping. He's not even using the Corruption ability, and the carriers are just going down like so many flies. Paper thin against the impressive threat attack of these Corruptors. Carriers are massive units, so these parasitic spores deal 22 damage a pop. And now this Broodlord is free to rain terror across these cannons. I mean, sure, the SeaWolf is floating 6,000 minerals. He'd be able to build all cannons all day long. This Broodlord, however, can just sit right out of range, and eventually the one Broodlord will win. He's massing out the Void Rays now. He has a whole 3 Stargates warping. SeaWolf, man. SeaWolf. Ikotsu's taking this hatch up here. He's going to lose it real quick. He's got cannons now. So we're seeing a 44-minute cannon rush against this Expo. He is really determined not to let the Zerg have this Expo. Here come the Corruptors. They're going to do absolutely nothing against the cannons, so he's morphing in some Broodlords. He's still got these Broodlords working on his base up here, but just as long as SeaWolf is mining, SeaWolf is building cannons. Here come the 2 Void Rays. I think they're going to try to kill off these Broodlords. He's got enough Corruptors up here, though. It'll be nothing. Oh, nope, there we go. That's a lot of Void Rays moving in now. 2 Corruptors, 4 Corruptors, 12 Corruptors. It doesn't matter. Those Void Rays are going to kill off the Broodlords and run away. Creep spread is looking really good by Ikotsu. Could probably spread to this base too. Just cover the map in it. Keep the Protoss from expanding simply by creep. We have another engagement up here. Corruptor's killing off the Void Rays. I don't know how Ikotsu has not won this yet. All SeaWolf is doing is building his Air Force up. The Corruptors are able to kill absolutely everything. Barely losing any. We can go to the Units Lost tab, if I can find the Units Lost tab. Where are you? L. Units Lost tab. Looking really even between the 2 players. That is a lot more even than I thought it was going to be. Ikotsu is down only 4 units, but he's up in the mineral cost, and here come more Void Rays. I don't agree with this at all. Void Rays do not counter air units that well. They're great against Zerg for early harassment, but apparently SeaWolf got the memo that air units beat Zerg. That is apparently SeaWolf's motto in this game. Air units beat Zerg. So he is working that to his advantage. And realistically, he's doing a good job of it. I mean, the Queen and the Corruptor could have possibly focused it down, but now that these Corruptors are here, they're going to easily save the hatch. He could have focused it down if he wanted to, but that Queen could have easily transfused it. And the Queen with the Burrow micro. And now the Void Ray is killing off the Corruptors, so we've seen so many army trades this game already. Ikotsu is doing a really good job of keeping his minerals low. SeaWolf is starting to run dry of that 6,000 bank that he had. This is getting a little bit insane. Now we have a bunch of Lings running in, not killing off the base he needs to kill. This base isn't doing anything for his opponent anymore. It's this one that he needs to worry about. Oh, there we go. 2 Broodlords taking out the production facilities. That is a great move by Ikotsu. That is exactly what he needed to be doing. Unfortunately, these 3 Void Rays here easily pick up the kills. Meanwhile, the Corruptors are over here killing off these assassinating Void Rays. They killed off this hatchery for the 3rd or 4th time this game. The Zerglings actually managing to take down this base. Void Rays pushing them clear, and Nidra's going to run into the cannons and die. So sad. Such noble sacrifices, those Lings. This base is starting to get dry. This base has been dry for a while. He really needs to re-expand here. Protoss player doesn't have any cannons here anymore. I think he canceled them all or lost them all in an earlier engagement. I'm not sure which. It's kind of hard to watch all the stuff that's going on in this game, because they're kind of everywhere, these air forces. Corruptors, again, focusing on their Void Rays. You want more Corruptors than he has Void Rays. I know it sounds... Corruptors are supposed to be able to kill off air units. The problem is the Void Rays aren't massive. So the Corruptors only deal 16 damage against them with the +2 upgrade. And there's another great engagement by SeaWolf and Ikotsu. This time it's the Void Rays that reign supreme. All the drones getting taken out by these supercharged Void Rays. Deal so much damage. 7 damage. Easily destroys all of this. And he lets the larva live. Okay. The Void Rays are retreating, meeting up with more Voids. Ikotsu now looking a little mineral starved. He doesn't have a single mining base. Oh, there we go. He's got 2 drones mining off of this base. He's got a lot of Corruptors now. If he focuses down the Void Rays correctly, he could still win this. Overlord's coming in for the distraction, but the Overlords are not fooled. Should have transfused on the Corruptors, but he missed his opportunity. I think the Overlords are focusing, or the Overlords there definitely harmed Ikotsu's targeting more than they did SeaWolf's. Now the Queen's coming up here, realizing that this base has remained untaken. SeaWolf's looking a little bit mineral starved himself, down to 1 mining base. But he's got the mineral static supply advantage. And now we're down to 33 food against 40. Ikotsu's the only one able to max back out. He's got 5 Queens now, looking like his entire army. 5 Queens and a Corruptor. There we go, 3 Corruptors. Slow Queens moving across the map. And there's the re-expand by Ikotsu up to this still completely full base. This base, still full. And now both players are taking what seems to be their last expansion. And uh-oh, SeaWolf moving in with the Void Rays. Looking like he wants to take down this Expo. He's got 2 Spore Crawlers to contend with, though. The Queens. Oh, there we go. Ikotsu spotted this Expo before it had a chance to finish. Queen Micro. Burrow. Burrow the Queens. Cannon's coming up now. Focus on the Voids. There we go. Lots of transfusions on that 1 Corruptor, dealing so much healing. The Void Rays, meanwhile, aren't able to keep up with the Queen's transfuses. Loses another 2 Void Rays. The Cannons, in the meantime, are up. He gets the cancel on the Nexus. But that's still fine. He's got 5 Queens and 3 Corruptors here. He's going to be able to hold this base. Meanwhile, his own base is refinished. And Ikotsu with the holy shit, an hour-long game. Yes, we are at 59:59. Now on to an hour. The air forces of Ikotsu have seemed to run dry. Meanwhile, SeaWolf moving in with what are going to be his last Void Rays. He can't re-expand. He didn't save himself from minerals. So as soon as he loses this army, that's it, man. And there come the Corruptors, wiping out the Voids. 1 left, 0 left. Oh, is he going to get it? And he gets it. And SeaWolf now at a complete deficit. He has no more minerals mining. He's got a single Void Ray left on the map. This game is well and truly over. He's got 3 observers, and here come the probes. Long distance mining. Wow, that is a huge distance. But Ikotsu, except for this 1 drone, would have known nothing about it. Well, now he's got to be wondering where his opponent is. I mean, he sees that they're mining right by him. And there's a Void Ray taking out the hatchery. The last Void Ray. Gets the cancel on the hatch. It doesn't have enough minerals to rebuild it. Where's your mining base? There it is. Ikotsu with the only mining base left in the game. The probes now retreating into their own base. These 5 Queens and now 5 Corruptors look like they're going to have won it for Ikotsu. This has been such a very strange Air Force heavy game. SeaWolf looking like he's completely lost. All these probes running around doing absolutely nothing. Taking out this base now, and what? He's going to long distance mine from his opponent's hatchery. And the Queen's now taking down the probes. This game is well and truly over. There goes the last Void Ray. He now has no army. All Ikotsu has to do is sit on this base, and it's over. And he's got a drone there. There's nothing he can do. SeaWolf now running for more minerals. This game is so wonky. SeaWolf, you lost, man. It's over. It's game over, man. Game over. Building up spines and spores now. Keeps his opponent from re-stealing minerals. This game has been crazy. Now he's got Lings. This is done. And he moved the Lings out. Ah, what are you doing? Just go kill him. SeaWolf finally with a good game. An hour and 6 minutes. Still, he hasn't left yet. Good game, well played. Always well-mannered Ikotsu. It was a good game from both players. And SeaWolf is yet to leave. He said GG. Where's the no re? There we go. SeaWolf has left the game. Well played, Ikotsu. Managing to hold off that massive Void Ray Air Force. Gotta love it. That was a good game. Again, if anybody has any replays they would like me to cast, I do Replay Tuesday on my stream at twitch.tv/Iruletho. And the email will be posted below on the video. But it is iruvideos@gmail.com. Thank you guys for watching, and tune in next time.